How's it going? I just wanted to touch base with you today and talk about something that I saw on an interview on Michael Knowles' YouTube channel. And he's interviewing the Q-SHAMAN. And he got into something that has been discussed. It's not even talking about the J6 stuff. This is talking about something else that has been discussed in a similar fashion the last couple of years, and it's something that affected him too, even before. And anyway, I'll just get into it and share with you and see what you think, and just watch this.
I think a lot of people don't even know that you were in the Navy. So thank you for your service.
My pleasure.
I think this whole interview is just going to be a series of rewinding, because the story gets more interesting even the further back you go. It's a very patriotic, normal kind of thing to do, is to join the Navy. So this is pre-shaman stuff. Why'd you join the Navy?
Well, because I wanted to serve God and country.
Then tell me about the shift. You're in the Navy, you get out. Why'd you get out?
Well, I refused the anthrax vaccine. So because I refused the anthrax vaccine, they gave me a general discharge under honorable conditions. It's like I never joined. I don't get my GI Bill, but I also don't get a tainted record.
Okay.
Right? So I was refusing vaccines before it was cool.
Wow, I've heard the anthrax vaccine is also the most painful one among my military vet friends. And so you were skeptical of the vaccine. What didn't you like about the vaccines?
Well, I did research. You know, I looked into it. I didn't just trust the government, which I don't think anybody should just trust the government. You know, they have a history of not being trustworthy. There were people that were crippled due to blood clots in their legs. There are people that actually died from it. There's all sorts of negative effects. And it's not just one shot. The anthrax vaccine is a series of shots, kind of like the COVID one.
So you say, okay, I'm anti-vax, but it was from the physical threats of it. It wasn't say a religious opposition to it or something like that.
Well, once I really started to do research on vaccines and the people that are pushing them and making money off of them, it really became clear that there was ulterior motive, not just in the military, but abroad.
Well, I remember when the COVID vaccines came out, we were told that they're totally fine, they're very effective, they're very safe. And so they made all these scientific claims that turned out to be a little bit dubious. But also, the vaccines were produced from research that involved aborted fetal
tissue.
Yeah. And so plenty of people had religious objections to it. I didn't know. I assumed that one could get out of that requirement for their work or even in the military with a religious exemption, but a lot of people were denied those exemptions. So in any case, you were not given an exemption. You were told, take the anthrax vax or you're out of the Navy. You get out of the Navy. Then you say you got into some of the shaman stuff.
Well, that was the part I wanted you to see, and hopefully you have some comments you can make below and let me know what you think. This is something that's been going on for a long time. From my understanding, this was even part of the Desert Storm issues when they had some people coming back with issues. They were wondering if it was because of something they took beforehand to keep them from the chemical warfare and possibly some biological warfare elements, or was it from the solution to try to keep them from it? And my wife was involved in a movie called Thanks of a Grateful Nation years ago, back in the 90s, and you can find it on YouTube too. It's called Thanks of a Grateful Nation. It was, I think Jennifer Jason Leigh was starring in her, portraying her in the role, and then you had Ted Dancing and Brian Dennehy and some other people in it. But Thanks of a Grateful Nation, you can go find that. It talks about some of the same type of issue. I just thought this was interesting. Like I said, please comment, like, and subscribe, and do all the other good stuff that everybody asks you to do, usually on something like this. So thank you so much, and have a good one.